Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well, it seems like this little trick again did not work. And that is trying to somehow get NATO involved in a direct scuffle with Russia, or at least yet it did not work. Why am I saying that? Is because the Ukrainians, not the Ukrainians, that's the wrong word. The people in charge of the Ukrainian nation, unfortunately, they tried, this would be at least the third time that I know of, when they tried to draw NATO into direct confrontation with Russia, which would mean definitely a third world war, and that will have no winners. No winners. So, what happened here? You know that Black Sea grain agreement that the Russians just withdrew and said we're not going to do it because you didn't hold your part of the bargain, the deal. We kept our, you didn't, so we're done. So they said no, nothing. And then the Ukrainians, again, the Ukrainians. When I say Ukrainians, I'm saying those weasels in charge of the Ukrainian nation, not the Ukrainians, right? I love the Ukrainians, not those guys though. Why? Because I don't think they work for the benefit and in the interest of the Ukrainian nation. That's my assessment. Am I free to do that? FBI is here, sorry, got to go. Anyway, so what did they do? These guys say, the guys in charge of Ukraine, well, we defend the world, we feed the world, and if you don't help us, you're gonna die by starvation. And the world doesn't have grain. Well, I made an article, a video based on an article a few days ago with UN information provided via Russia. It was a Russian article, but they provided UN data. And they said the grain, the Ukrainian grain, goes about 38% to the European Union, 38%. About 30 goes to Turkey, about 20 some goes to China, and 2% to zwo, each ni, however, doi, however you want to take it, that goes to the global south, that is Africa and whatever. So 2%, so when they say we feed the world, yeah, you look at the percentage. Doesn't matter, they're still humans, they're still people, right? Right. So what the Ukrainians said, we're going to do it with Turkey, and we're going to do it through United Nations, leave the Russians alone. The problem with the Russians, we're going to keep them away. Unfortunately, the Russian says, we're not going to guarantee you safe passage and through the Black Sea. That means we're going to hit whomever we want, we're going to harass whomever we want, because we consider you guys enemies over there doing hanky-panky. We don't know if the vessels coming in will bring weapons, the vessels going out bring, I don't know, ladies of the night. So now the guys in charge of Ukraine said, you know what, how about Turkey? Why don't you send your navy, and your navy will patrol and protect the transports, the grain transports. And guess what Turkey said? I don't think so. It's too dangerous. What? The Russians will hit them, I guarantee you. Why? Don't put yourself in stupid situations. Remember, the Russians harassed the Americans over the Black Sea. Don't you think they will harass the Turks? But again, the Ukrainian guys, not Ukrainian, again, the leaders, the weasels in charge, let's put it this way, the weasels in charge, they try to draw that because they know if Russia will hit Turkey say, oh, we were attacked, Article 5 of NATO, let's do it. They try to push this, and this is criminal. But I guess in their situation, they try anything just to follow orders and destroy Russia. So the first time when the Ukrainians tried to grab and get NATO in was when those two S-300s shot by the Ukrainians into Poland, remember? They immediately claimed it was the Russians, and they asked, hey, Article 5, and then the guy says, no, it was you, mofos. Okay, and then that died down, if you remember. And then the second one was with a missile coming from Russia going towards Lviv or Lvov, and Ukrainians, oh, that passed 15 miles or something like that on Romanian territory where they violated the airspace of NATO. You gotta react, NATO, Article 5. And Romanian says it was not on our territory, it was on the territory of Moldova, which is not part of NATO. And even if that rocket or missile would have flown from the Black Sea north towards Lviv, Lvov, would have passed through Romanian territory, I guarantee you NATO would not have moved a pubic hair. in order to defend these guys or do anything like that. Guarantee you. That was the second time when the Ukrainians says, see, and this is, I think, the third time when they try to get Turkey. Maybe a little incident will occur between Turkey and Russia, and here we have it. We're gonna fulfill the script. Check, right? So let's read this little article, which is self-explanatory, just the title. Coming from Russia Today, 19th of July 2023. Türkiye opposed to Ukrainian call for Black Sea escorts. What kind of escorts? Ankara will not jeopardize its warships to help Kiev export grain. A source has told the agency. Ankara will most likely reject any request from Kiev to use Turkish warships to escort vessels with Ukrainian grain in the Black Sea, Bloomberg has reported, citing an informed source. Russia officially withdrew from the Black Sea grain deal on Monday. The agreement was initially signed in July 2022, so it expired, through mediation by the UN and Turkey, and provided for the safe shipment of Ukrainian grain through Black Sea corridors amid the conflict between Moscow and Kiev. Moscow justified its withdrawal from the deal by citing unfulfilled Western promises to lift sanctions on the export of Russian food products and fertilizer. Reporting on Tuesday, Bloomberg cited Dmitry Kornyakov, CEO of Ukraine's Harvest Holding, who suggested that, and I'm quoting, the main task for Ukraine now is to get the support of Turkey, end quote, in order to continue grain shipments from Black Sea ports. So I don't think that's going to happen, even though the weasels in charge of the Ukrainian nation claim that if we don't help us, the whole world will die. Well, maybe you should have thought about Minsk agreements first before you got in all this bullshit. And you should have implement those first, and then this would have been probably avoided. Not probably, certainly. You can work on that framework. But since the United States was not involved in the Minsk agreements, why? For the good reason of being, hey, we didn't violate anything. We just told these guys, don't implement them. Yes, sir. So, I don't think Turkey will risk that one. Turkey is already on the red, I think, for now, with Russia, because of the freeing those Azov battalion commanders that were not supposed to, gave it to Ukraine. And that's one. The other one was, I guess, they agreed to Sweden joining NATO, just Erdogan, not the parliament yet. It still has to be agreed by the Turkey's parliament. And then, receiving F-16s in return and money from the, I think, International Monetary Fund. They said they will receive some loans all of a sudden for the poor economic management of whatever. But if people don't want to do business with you because they want to strangle you economically, what are you going to do? Look at Cuba. They've been under economic sanctions and embargo from the United States for how many years? Decades. And it shows. It's not only that the communist system is a bankrupt system to start with. The second one is if these guys don't want to do business with you and tell others don't do it because we're going to, then obviously your options are slimming. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.